right now I have it at 1.5 inches, which is pretty high. And what I've seen online is people usually roll to no thinner than 1/2 inch. And maybe 3/8 of an inch. And then when you add this, then it gets thinner. So remember that if you add something on top, it's gonna get even thinner. And even for like handles, they seem like it's thicker even in the bottom. So anyway, I just put it at 1.5. I think this is probably about 2 inches. But I've also seen people like, you know, kind of pound this down like the feeding edge, you know. And I might even bring the roller down or higher even more, because I just throw it through a lot of times. And I flip it and turn it. I mean, this is just gonna lengthen it this way when you put it through, and then if I flip it, then I'll get something more square.
And it's good to run it through one direction and then the other, making it just slightly lower. Even if you're not adding texture, just because those clay molecules have a memory, and if you tend to roll it just one way and then take it out, when it sets, it'll want to curl like that in that direction. So if you run it back the other way with a little more pressure, your slabs will stay flatter, if that's what you want. You know, maybe you want the slight tendency to curl, but if you don't, then always run it back the other way.
Do you flip yours too?
No, I don't flip
Okay.
them.
I flip
You
it.
can.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Obsessive.
And another thing you want to make sure is you don't have any creases in the canvas, because that'll just.
So it's like rolled back on it? Is that?
Right now, yeah. So this piece of canvas, if you had 2 pieces, it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
This just happens to be the piece I'm using, and it's just rolled back on itself.
You just want one on top, one on bottom.
Yeah, because if you get clay into these rollers, that's going to be a day of cleaning.
Yeah, and don't get your fingers in the rollers.
Good advice.
Yep, or like these.
Or your hair.
Yeah.
Or booty strings.
So righty-tighty means it gets more narrow, less thick, or more thick and
Is there a little
thinner.
line that indicates the?
Yep, back here.
There's a
So
tiny
there's-
little ruler back
There's
there.
a ruler, and then there's this edge right here. See the metal edge?
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That metal edge goes down.
It goes down if you go to count clockwise,
Okay.
righty,
Mhm.
tighty, and then looser if you go the other
Okay.
way. And the way that this roller goes is, I think when you turn this
Yeah,
way, the whole
clockwise.
board moves with it.
Yeah.
Board moves with it. Okay.
But you'll figure that out fast enough.
And then
you
it's
have to-
really got to grab on to go through, and then you have to kind of push and pull. So you
Yep.
can do it by yourself, but you might want a helper. So let me know if you want me to pull from one side or not.
So also, yeah, if this is not thick enough for it to pull, then it's not gonna go anywhere. Like this has to be thicker, you know, a little higher than what your space is. And so
It's got to have something to grab on.
yeah, it has to grab. So I'm just gonna move it to the edge. Let's see if I can get it going.
And then once it catches, it goes through pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't, if it's up against the wheel and it won't go, it could be that your clay is too thick and too tall.
Yeah.
You need to pound it
And
down.
then you don't wanna stress out the machine either, right?